Have you ever woken up, looked down, and thought, what happened to me? I know that's a raw question, but let's be honest with ourselves. When you're over 60, it's not just about getting older. It's about losing a piece of who you are. The spark, the confidence, the simple joy of feeling like a man in your own body. What if I told you it's not just aging, but something fixable? Something you can actually do something about, starting today? I'm Dr. Edward. I practiced as a urologist and men's health specialist here in Greenville, South Carolina, for over 35 years. In those decades, I helped thousands of men, many just like you, who quietly suffered, thinking this was just their lot in life. Today, I want to share one of the most effective natural approaches I ever recommended in my practice. Something that's restored intimacy, confidence, and even saved marriages. Yes, it's that serious. So before we dive in, do me a favor. Backhand index pointing right, subscribe, and click the bell. It only gets more interesting from here. Backhand index pointing right, and write in the comments which city you're watching from. I read every comment, and I want to know who I'm talking to today. Because what we're about to discuss isn't just information. It's a conversation between me and you. Man to man. Let's start here. Our bodies change with age. You've heard that so many times it's become meaningless. So let's make it real. When you were in your 20s and 30s, your body was like a well-oiled engine. Turn the key, and everything roared to life. Blood flowed easily. Sensation was vivid. Desire wasn't something you hoped for. It was something you had to manage. Now, for many men, it's like the oil's dried up. The pipes are clogged. The engine sputters. Most doctors will pat you on the back and say, that's normal. It's just aging. But here's what they don't tell you. It's not just age. Yes, your testosterone drops a bit. But the real villain is far sneakier. It's your blood flow. You see, inside your body are thousands of tiny blood vessels, like the pipes in an old house. As the years pass, they narrow, harden, get clogged with plaque. It doesn't happen overnight. It's quiet, subtle. First, you might notice your feet and hands getting colder. Then it's your energy fading just a little sooner in the day. You get winded more easily. And in the bedroom, it's not just about the erection. It's about the feeling, the warmth, the intimacy, the spark. Because when blood can't get to where it needs to go, you lose more than performance. You lose connection. You lose a part of your identity. I've seen in my patients' eyes men who walked in with their heads down, who felt embarrassed, who thought they were failing their wives, their partners, themselves. I remember one man, 67 years old, retired, married for 40 years. He said, "Doc, it's like part of me has gone silent." Silent. That word stuck with me, because that's how it happens. Quietly. Your blood vessels don't shout when they clog. Your body doesn't ring an alarm bell when your circulation slows. It just slips away. And the worst part? Most men think there's nothing they can do. They turn to pills, those little blue promises, hoping for a miracle. But pills don't fix blocked pipes. They don't heal the damage. They don't restore the freedom of healthy blood flow. And without that, you're just treating a symptom, not the cause. But here's the part that matters. The part one want you to hear like you're sitting across from me in my old office. You could do something about it. You could support blood flow. You can help your body heal. Naturally, without adding yet another prescription bottle to your nightstand. Today I'm going to share with you one of the most surprising, effective approaches I use to recommend to my own patients. And it all starts with something most people overlook. Something simple, familiar, an oil, one you probably have in your home right now. But before I reveal exactly what it is and how to use it safely, you need to understand why it works. Because I don't want you chasing gimmicks. I want you understanding your body again. Remember, this isn't about quick fixes. It's about reclaiming something real, something that belongs to you, your health, your confidence, your connection. If you're with me so far, Take a moment to leave a comment. Tell me where you're watching from. Tell me if this is resonating, because this is just the beginning. In the next section, we'll dig even deeper. I'll show you exactly why circulation is the key to restoring intimacy, and why this one oil can make such a profound difference in just 7 days if you use it the right way. So stay with me. We're just getting started. When I first realized how important blood flow was not just to a man's health, but to his sense of himself, I thought back to so many patients I'd seen over the years. One man stands out in my memory more than any other. His name was Frank. Frank was 69. He'd been married for 45 years to a woman he loved deeply. He was proud of that. You could see it in the way he talked about her, the way his eyes softened. But when he came to see me, he wouldn't meet my gaze. He sat on the edge of my exam table, looking at the floor, twisting his wedding band. He finally said, "Doc, I don't know what's wrong with me. I still love her. I want to be close. But it just doesn't work anymore. I can't even feel the same. It's like I'm numb." That word, numb, is one I heard so often. Men think the problem is just in their penis, but it's not. It's in their blood, their vessels, their heart, and their heart in more ways than one. Frank told me he tried pills. They worked a little at first, but they gave him headaches, made his face flush. His wife noticed, and he felt humiliated. Eventually, he stopped taking them altogether. When I explained to him that the real issue was blood flow, tiny vessels in the penis narrowing over time, getting clogged like old plumbing, he actually teared up. "You mean it's not just me getting old and useless?" "No, Frank," I told him. "You're not broken. You're clogged." That was the moment he finally looked up, because he realized there was hope. Now, I want you to understand something important here. This is not about a magic pill. It's about supporting your body's ability to heal, to restore the flow that aging has quietly stolen. And the first step I shared with Frank was something most men ignore completely. A simple oil, not the kind you'd find in your car, but in your kitchen. Extra virgin olive oil. Yes, that's right. You see, real, high-quality olive oil isn't just a cooking ingredient. It's packed with compounds called polyphenol and antioxidants that do something remarkable. They reduce inflammation in blood vessels. They improve the flexibility of the arteries. And they stimulate nitric oxide production, the very molecule your body needs to expand those tiny blood vessels that bring life back to your most intimate parts. Frank thought I was joking at first. "Olive oil? Doc, you want me to fry an egg on it or something?" I smiled. "No, Frank. I want you to eat it. Every day. On purpose. 2 tablespoons daily. Drizzled on salads. Mixed with vegetables. Even just swallowed straight if you want to keep it simple. But it has to be good quality, real, extra virgin cold pressed." He thought it sounded too easy. But the truth is, simplicity is deceptive. Because once he did it consistently, along with other circulation-friendly habits we'll talk about later, he started to see a change. He came back after about 6 weeks. And the first thing he did was shake my hand so hard I thought he'd break it. "Doc," he said, voice cracking, "we made love last night. For the first time in months. I didn't just perform. I felt it. She felt it. We both cried." That's the power of blood flow. It's not about mechanical performance. It's about connection, warmth, life. But that was only the beginning. Because while olive oil helps reduce inflammation and open up blood vessels, there's another oil, one most men have sitting in their pantry, that can amplify the effect by delivering the right kind of fat to support hormone production and vessel health. I was honestly skeptical about it myself when I first researched it, but after seeing the results, I changed my mind. I remember another patient, George, widower, kind eyes, lonely. He told me he'd started dating again, but was too embarrassed to even try intimacy. "It's humiliating," he whispered. "I don't even get half hard anymore. I don't want to scare her off." We went through his diet, Turns out he'd been avoiding all fats because his cardiologist warned him about cholesterol. I get it, but here's the thing. Your body needs healthy fat to make hormones. Testosterone. And George was eating dry chicken breast and steamed broccoli, but no healthy oils. I told him to add 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed flaxseed oil to his daily routine. Flaxseed oil is rich in alpha-linolenic acid, an omega-3 that reduces inflammation in the arteries even more powerfully than olive oil, but also helps balance hormones. Studies have shown it can support modest improvements in testosterone levels without needing injections or gels. We made a plan. 2 tablespoons of flaxseed oil daily. 1 in the morning in a smoothie. 1 drizzled over dinner. Within a month, he called me. Doc, I'm not going to lie. I'm not 25 again, but I'm alive again. She noticed. I noticed. It's not just working, it feels good. He didn't sound like a man embarrassed anymore. He sounded like a man hopeful. Now, you might be thinking, come on, document. 2 oils? Really? Yes, really. Because it's not about magic. It's about physiology. Your blood vessels respond to what you feed them. Your hormones depend on the raw materials you give your body. We're not talking about some overnight miracle. We're talking about giving your body what it needs to heal itself. Olive oil to reduce inflammation. Flaxseed oil to balance hormones and further support blood flow. When used together, day after day, they work like a team. One opens the highway. The other fuels the car. It's not a gimmick. It's not expensive. It's not risky. It's just smart. But I want to be clear about something. This isn't for men who want to pop a pill and forget it. This is for men who want to own their health, who want to show their partners, themselves, that they still care, that they're still alive, that they still matter. Because let's face it, when you feel good in your body, you show up differently in your life. You walk taller. You speak softer. You love more deeply. And your partner feels it. That's what these simple steps can give you back. But here's the thing. This is only the beginning. Because once you get the blood flowing again, there's another step. A way to keep that flow consistent. A way to make sure you don't just fix the problem once, but keep it from coming back. And in the next section, I'm going to show you exactly what that looks like. Because restoring intimacy isn't about one trick or one oil. It's about a way of living. And I promise you, if you stay with me, you'll see exactly how to do it, step by step, safely, naturally, and in a way that can make both you and your partner smile again. So if you're still here, let me know in the comments. Tell me you're with me, because what comes next is going to be even better. We're not done yet. We're just getting started. You know, after years of practice, I learned something humbling. It's not enough to just open the pipes. You have to keep them open. That's where so many men go wrong. They think one change, one supplement, one oil is enough. But the body isn't a switch. It's a garden. You don't just water it once and walk away. You tend it, feed it, care for it. And that's exactly what I explained to my patient, Robert. Robert was 74. He was the definition of old school. He built his house with his own hands. He'd fought in Vietnam, raised 3 kids, and he didn't complain about much. But he sat across from me, his jaw tight, and said, "Doc, I'm ashamed to even talk about it. I just don't have it in me anymore. I can't even remember the last time my wife and I were really together. And she's too polite to say it, but I know it hurts her." That's the thing no one tells you about aging. It's not just your body that suffers when circulation fades. It's your heart, your relationship, that quiet space between you and the person you love. It grows cold. Not because you don't care, but because your body doesn't answer the call. Robert was healthy for his age, mostly, but he ate like a teenager. He laughed when I asked him about vegetables. "Doc, I'm a meat and potatoes man. Always have been. And you know what? There's nothing wrong with meat and potatoes in moderation." But his plate was beige. No color. No life. That mattered more than he realized. Because the real secret to keeping those tiny blood vessels healthy and open isn't just the oils you add. It's the junk you stop putting in. I told Robert that blood vessels are like little elastic tubes. They're meant to expand and contract. But years of high sugar, high salt, processed food diets harden them. Like old rubber left in the sun. They lose their give. And the first place that shows up? Down there, where the vessels are the smallest. Where even the slightest narrowing kills sensation. Kills function. He looked at me, eyes narrowed. So you're saying my dinner is killing my sex life? I nodded, piece by piece. I didn't shame him. I don't believe in that. I'm too old for lectures. But I told him the truth. You want to change this? You got to change your fuel. Because your blood vessels will respond. They can heal, but you have to give them the chance. We talked about small steps. Real food, leafy greens, loaded with nitrates that convert to nitric oxide, the very molecule that opens blood vessels. Beets, arugula, spinach. Not pills, not potions, just food. He wasn't thrilled, but he loved his wife more than he loved fried food. He started slow. A spinach salad twice a week. A beet smoothie once in a while. Within 2 months, he told me, "Doc, it's not like I'm 20, but my wife and I held each other the other night. Really held each other. And I felt like myself again." I'll tell you what I told him. That's not a miracle. That's science. Because nitric oxide isn't just for athletes. It's for men who want to keep being men. Men who want to feel alive. Men who want to be present. Because when blood flows, everything changes. You feel warmer, more responsive, more confident. It even changes your brain. I've seen men walk taller after they get their blood moving again. Smiling more, laughing more, being with their partner instead of next to them. And you know what? Their partners notice. Because this isn't just about performance. It's about connection, warmth, intimacy, life. But that wasn't the end for Robert. Because once he got a taste of change, he wanted more. We added one more step. A simple daily habit that most people forget. Walking. That's right. Old-fashioned, low-tech walking. Because movement isn't just exercise. It's circulation therapy. Every step pumps blood, keeps vessels flexible, supports the very flow you need. I told Robert, you don't have to run marathons. Just walk with your wife after dinner. 10 minutes. 15. Make it your time. He did. 6 months later, he came back. He'd lost 10 pounds. His blood pressure was down. He was off one of his meds. And he said, voice cracking, we're like newlyweds again. Not because of sex alone, but because I'm there. I'm present. That's what men forget. You're not trying to be 25. You're trying to be alive. To give your partner your attention, your warmth, your best self. And healthy blood flow makes that possible. So yes, oil matters. Food matters. Movement matters. But what matters most is choosing to care. For yourself, for your partner, for the life you still have ahead. Because you're not done yet. Not even close. And if you're still watching, I know you know that too. Stay with me. Because in the next section, we're going to make it even simpler. I'll show you exactly how to apply these changes day by day, so you're not guessing. So you can see and feel real results. Because you deserve that. You've earned that. And you can have that. If you're with me, say so in the comments. Tell me you're here. Tell me you're ready. Because we're not stopping. We're going all the way. Together. You know, one thing I always told my patients was this. Information is useless without action. I could tell you all day about oils, greens, walking. But if you don't know how to actually use them, they just become more noise in your head. That's why I want to slow things down for a moment. Let's make this real. Because this isn't about lectures. This is about helping you sit at your kitchen table, look at your plate, and think, I can do this. So here's what I told Frank. Remember him? The man who cried when he felt alive with his wife again. He didn't just buy olive oil and hope for the best. He made it part of his life. 2 tablespoons a day. Not drizzled over a greasy pizza, but over real food. He'd pour it onto a fresh salad. Dip some crusty whole grain bread in it. Even stir it into cooked veggies before serving. That's it. Nothing fancy, but consistent. He also switched to cooking with it instead of processed vegetable oils that hurt the heart. And that small act, done daily, began to heal those tiny blood vessels from the inside out. He didn't do it once. He did it every single day. Then there was George, the one who added flaxseed oil. He didn't love the taste at first, so we found ways to make it work. He'd blend it into his morning smoothie, banana, berries, a bit of yogurt, that tablespoon of flaxseed oil. You wouldn't even know it was there. He said it became his little ritual, his promise to himself that he wasn't giving up. I told both of them the same thing I'm telling you now. Your blood vessels didn't get clogged in a week. They won't clear in a day. But if you give your body what it needs, it will thank you. This is where most men trip up. They get excited. They try it for 2 days. Then they forget. But the men who saw results, they made it part of who they were. Not a diet, not a chore, but self-respect in action. And it wasn't just oils. It was food that supported the mission. Spinach salads with that olive oil. Beet smoothies with flaxseed oil. Roasted veggies with both. Nothing complicated. Nothing expensive. Just real food. Prepared with love. For themselves. For their partners. Robert, the tough old-school man who resisted at first, he used to joke he'd rather eat cardboard than spinach. But he learned to saute it with olive oil and garlic. He learned to toss in some cherry tomatoes. He said, "Doc, I'm not a chef, but my wife's eyes lit up when I made it." Because that's another truth most men don't see coming. When you care for yourself, your partner notices. They feel safer, seen, loved. Your effort says more than words ever can. It says, "I want to be here with you, fully." That's what this whole method is about. It's not about being 20 again. It's about being present, warm, capable, and yes, sexually alive, but also emotionally alive. That's what changes everything in a marriage. I'll tell you about another man, Samuel. Samuel was 68, retired contractor. He came to me after his wife had already started sleeping in the guest room, not because they fought, but because they felt like strangers. He said, "Doc, she says she's cold at night, but I know it's not that." He was right. She wasn't cold. She was lonely. They hadn't been close in over a year. He told me he felt dead inside, that no matter what he did, nothing happened. No desire, no response. He didn't even bother trying anymore. I asked about his habits. He drank 2 sodas a day, ate fast food twice a week, rarely walked, and he hadn't seen a vegetable that wasn't deep fried in years. We didn't overhaul his life in a day. We picked one change at a time. First, 2 tablespoons of olive oil daily. He'd drizzle it on a salad, even if it was store-bought at first. Then we added 1 tablespoon of flaxseed oil in his morning yogurt. He didn't love it, but he did it. After 3 weeks, he called me. He said, "Doc, I felt something. It's not perfect, but I felt it." By 6 weeks, they were back in the same bed. He told me he held her afterward and just cried because he thought he'd lost that part of himself forever. He hadn't. It was waiting. His body just needed the right fuel, the right care. That's how you apply this. Not as a fad, not as punishment, but as love in action. 2 tablespoons of olive oil daily. 1 to 2 tablespoons of cold-pressed flaxseed oil. Real, nitrate-rich greens most days. A short walk after dinner. That's it. That's the plan. Simple. Not always easy, because habits are stubborn, but so worth it. Because this isn't just about erections. It's about connection. It's about feeling like yourself, feeling seen, giving your partner the best of you, not the leftovers. If you're watching this and you're thinking, "That's too simple," good. It should be simple, because your body knows what to do. You just have to give it the chance.